This is a school project, is that
Yeah.
what it is? What, is it history class?
So what's your name, Lou?
Lou, L-E-W. Yeah.
Okay. So, hi, I'm Emily. I'm gonna be interviewing Lou. Um, so when did you first hear about Pearl Harbor and how old were you? What was your reaction?
You know that one?
Yeah, I know that one.
Well, on the night of December the 6th,
It's just video.
we were up at, my basketball team and I were up in New York playing City College of New York in basketball. And we stayed overnight and started driving home on the next morning. And we stopped at a gas station for some gas. And the radio happened to be on there. And the announcer said, "We have a very important announcement to make. The Japanese have bombed Pearl Harbor." We looked at each other. Where in the world is Pearl Harbor? We didn't know. We found out in a hurry, though. And that's how we found out about that.
So, like, how did you react to that?
It wasn't much of we were so far away from everything, it really didn't react too much to it at that time. Took a little time, a couple of days later, probably before it started to set in. Because all we kept thinking about, well, we're all going into the service now. And, well, we'll see what's going to happen.
So, what did you do in the service?
What did I do in the service? I finished college in 42 and went right into what was then called the Naval Aviation Program. And I was interested in flying. And I did it, went through, in fact, I started out in the Navy Yard in Philadelphia, the airfield there. And went there, from there to Jacksonville, from Jacksonville, that was it. And we got our commission, second lieutenants. No, at that time, what happened was the Marine flyers at Guadalcanal at that time were taking a beating. So they took a bunch of us and put us over into the Marine Corps. That's how I got in the Marine Corps. Well, anyway, got in the Marine Corps, and well, you want me to go on from there? Is that what you want me to? All right. Went into the Marine Corps, and we, God, I'm trying to think, it goes back so many years now. We took a ship out of, they sent us to San Francisco to ship us overseas. And we got in the ship, headed overseas, and we stopped at America Samoa, which was one of our islands at that time. And from there, they flew us up to an island called Walisi. Walisi, which used to be a French island, but now we took it over from. So I joined a squadron in Walisi, a dive bombing squadron, and we did a lot of bombing and strafing of different islands around the area. We went up to an island called Funafuti, which was closer to Tarawa at that time, Tarawa, wherever you want to pronounce it, at that time. And we did a lot of bombing and strafing in a lot of the islands around there, Kwajalein. Oh no, from there we went up to, oh God, Kwajalein. We went, God, I can't think of the name of the island anymore now. We were stationed there. Well, anyway. Flying out of Funafuti, we were doing a lot of research, searching for submarines and so on. And another mission we went on, we were on a mission, bombing mission, and we ran out of gas, 3 of us. So we didn't have enough gas to bring us back to our island. So we ditched our planes at the middle of the ocean, and they knew where we were, so a rescue plane they called a Dumbo was a big PBY. They sent a Dumbo over and picked us up, brought us back to where where we were stationed. Then from there we went up to an island called Eniwetok. That's the island I'm thinking of. And we were stationed at Eniwetok. And Eniwetok was, you're talking about battles in Kwajalein, what were the other island, a bunch of islands. Kwajalein was the big one. It used to be a big Japanese island. And we did a lot of bombing there. And we're now on one mission to this island. Oh God, I can't think of the name of it now. Well, anyway, we went out to this island, and we caught early in the morning, and we caught the men working out there on the runway. And we caught them out there on the runway, of course, and then we went in and we strafed them. We got out of that all right. One of the best part about flying was you never knew if you hurt or killed anybody. You never knew, which was great.
Till you're so far away.
Yeah,
From everything, yeah.
you never knew. So, let's see, from Eniwetok, Kwajalein, Ujalang, some of the islands that we were bombing at that time. And, well, I'll add this anyway. Well, we're strafing, you're down at the ground level almost, and you're flying into the island to strafe, and you're flying right into their guns. They're the enemy guns, and they're shooting at us, and all you can see were tracers. Tracers are red bullets coming up at you. You can follow them. And we went in there, we did our strafing. And scared? Well, at that time you weren't scared then because you were so busy working, doing what you had to do. But afterwards, after it was over, then you started thinking about it and thinking, wow, what did I get myself into? And, well, we did that, and then we back to our own island, and, what else can I tell you? That's about it, all I can tell you there. Then eventually our tour was over, and they sent us back to the States, and we boarded back to Marine Corps Air Station down in North Carolina, and we did some more training there. We got new airplanes, and then from there. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, I forgot to tell you that. When we left Pensacola, we went to Jacksonville. From Jacksonville, we went up to the Great Lakes, and up there they had a carrier. The Navy did, and we practiced carrier landings and takeoffs. To qualify, you had to land 8 times on a carrier, and we all did it, and we qualified, and then we come home for a couple of days, then we're back overseas again for our second tour, and we ended up going to Hawaii. We went to Hawaii, and we joined a squadron there. Then we got orders to go to China. Oh, I'm sorry, no. On our way overseas, our second tour, the ship captain come over the PA system. I'm rambling, so it's not connected. The captain of the ship come over there on his radio and said, the Americans just dropped the A-bomb over Japan. What's an A-bomb? We never heard of an A-bomb. We dropped all kinds of bombs, but we didn't know what an A-bomb was. We found out, of course. And so we went on and went into a place called Tsingtao in China. We bypassed Japan itself and into Tsingtao. There we joined a squadron there. And from there, this other fellow and I got orders to follow the railroad, check the railroad out from Tsingtao up to Peking, the capital. Check the railroad out, see what it was like. Well, the railroad itself, we went to Chennai and started flying up the railroad, following it. And there wasn't 100 yards of railroad left. I mean, Japanese had just torn it all apart. Later on, more and the engines, overturned engines, and burned, and so we flew on, kept going. And one of the saddest things I ever saw happen was we were flying low. We came to a hill. We had to climb up over a hill and started down. And as we started down, there was a Chinese, an open market. And there were thousands of Chinese in the opening market. Now here they see two planes coming down at them, and boy, and they scattered. They scattered all over the place, just like ants. You ever see an ant hill? If you drop something, how they scatter? That's the way they scattered. And it's one of the saddest things I ever saw. They scattered, hiding behind, jumping in ditches, hiding behind trucks and cars and wagons and well, anyway, then we went on to on our way up. On the same trip. On our way up, I'm rambling now. I don't know if it's going to do you any good or not. And the Great Wall of China was there. So we went over, flew over it. Thousands of people are walking on it. Bicycles, rickshaws, over the Great Wall of China. So we followed that along for a while, see what it was like. Then we came back. We went into Peking, and we stayed there. And that's about it. And then we come home. They sent us home, and stayed home for a while. Got released from active duty. We were never discharged. The officers were never discharged. We were relieved from active duty, which meant if they wanted you, they could bring right back in again, no problem. Relieve you from active duty and take you back. In fact, this is what happened to, I don't know if you ever heard of Ted Williams, a baseball player. You never heard of him?
No.
He was a great ball player. Well, he was in the Marines also, a flyer. But he was playing baseball most of the time in Hawaii. And when he was released, they finally called him back again because of release from active duty. They called him back, and he came up here to Willow Grove Naval Air Station for retraining. And I knew the instructor he had up there because I flew up there, and I knew the instructor. And I was talking to him one day, and he says he was mad. Oh, I said he was mad. Because they called him back. He couldn't play baseball. Of course, nobody else could play baseball either, except the 4Fers or whatever you want to call them. Well, anyway, Ted Williams got there. Then and actually, by the way, then I can't take it away from him. He went to Korea, and he did a good job, I understand, in Korea. He had good eyesight, good reflexes, and this helped him. And well, anyway,